Hello everybody, this is Mr. Storm, and in this video we are going to be talking about the text adventure game. Now, we began working on the text adventure game last time. There was no video for that because all you were really doing is creating the different functions you needed for this game to work, right? So you should have been able to do that on your own. If not, here's a quick overview of what the game should look like at this point. We have an intro function. We have a character creator function. Then I have my three functions for the different characters in my game. I have a fighter, mage, and a rogue. Then we have a function to handle whenever our character dies. We have a function that will print our character's attributes on the screen whenever we need it. We have a combat function, a healing function, an inventory function, and then a game loop. And inside my game loop, instead of using the pass keyword, I just threw a loop in there so I can remind myself that that is the game loop. Now, we need to do something very special. We need to create something called a class. A class in computer programming is kind of like a function, but it's also like an advanced variable. Basically, a class will allow us to create a place to store information about an object, and that class can be accessed by any of the functions in our project. Now, the reason why we want to do this is because we want to create a player that can be accessed by any of the functions, and things like the player's name, the player's health, all of those things need to be accessible by all of the functions in our game. So we need to create it as a class. So let's create at the top of this program, let's create a new class. I'm going to put a comment here, player class. Now, to create a class, it's actually pretty easy. You just type the keyword class and then the name of the class. My class is going to be player. And then inside of this class, you can just create variables and give them data. It's really that simple. So notice that there is no open and close parentheses, but we still use a colon at the end. So here's some information I want about my player. Name, and I'll set it equal to something empty. Health, we'll set it to 100. We'll say mana, so the magic attack. Yours can be whatever you want, whatever attributes you want your players to have. I'll say attack power. I'll just balance it all out at 100. Oh, and I also I want to store the type of character they are. So whether they're a fighter, a rogue, a mage, I'm going to store that in a variable called player class. So we can pull that up whenever we need to if we want to check to see what class they are for something later on. Now, when we've created this class, now we can access these class variables in any of our methods. So I'm going to go down here to my game loop, and oh, I'm already calling the intro method. So up here in our intro function, let's say print, and I'm going to say player.attack. What that's going to do is it's going to find the player class right here, player, and it's going to print the attack value, so the value of the attack. And I'm actually going to make that 150, so we know we're getting the attack and not something else. Let's run the game. Hello? Oh, it's because it's not a string. Fred. Let's say player.name, because I don't want to cast it to a string while we're waiting. Hello? Oh, because I'm not calling my game loop. Oh my gosh. Wow. There we go. Printing Fred over and over and over again. Beautiful. Wow, my brain blanked out for a second. Okay, so it's working. So we can print Fred over and over again. Instead of printing game loop, let's just print intro, so we only get it once. There we go, Fred. And we can print whatever we want. Let's try printing the attack again and see if that works. It does. So because we've created it as a player or as a class, we can access these variables in any of the functions we want, and we don't have to pass them in. Like, I don't have to pass it in here and then, you know, like pass in 150 and, like, you know what I mean? We don't have to do any of that. We can use it globally. Okay, so that is the beauty of creating a function. Go ahead and creating a class. Go ahead and create your player class, and then we are set up to start building the rest of this game. All right, see you guys next time.